I knew the moment he said, "You're dismissed," he didn't mean just from the company, he meant from the family. The boardroom was so still you could hear the quiet tick of his Rolex as he pressed his fingers together, mechanical, like he'd rehearsed the moment a dozen times in his mind. The windows behind him overlooked the skyline, 23 floors up, floor-to-ceiling glass, gleaming like ambition. But none of it impressed me anymore. My name's Dean Harris. For half a decade, I poured myself into Avalon Technologies, a luxury brand on paper, an empire built on ego behind closed doors. I didn't have a rich last name. No trust fund. Just a work ethic and a strange twist of fate. I married the boss's daughter. For a while, I thought that meant I'd found my fairy tale. Her name was Ava. Smart. Sharp-tongued. Strong. She wasn't her father, or so I thought. When I joined the company, the whispers began. Nepotism hire. Son-in-law project. I ignored them. Let my work speak. And it did, to everyone except him. Marcus Delacourt. My father-in-law. Billionaire CEO. Man who built Avalon from scratch and never let anyone forget it. He didn't hate me, at first. But he didn't trust anyone he couldn't own. And one thing I never let him do was own me. It started small. Projects rerouted. Credit missing. Meetings I wasn't invited to. A smirk when I presented a campaign that outperformed Ava's original idea. And then Ava changed too. "I told you not to challenge his decisions in front of others," she'd say behind closed doors. "His trying. He once told me, with a glass of 50-year-old Macallan in hand, that the only things in life worth keeping were those that feared losing you. I realized he wanted that fear from me. I never gave it. And so, he waited. Until the day he could claim victory without risking his image. Monday morning. Regular board update. Everyone present. Executives, VPs, Ava. Seated across the table, silent, unreadable. I was halfway through my presentation slide about a new regional expansion strategy, one that would outpace our top 3 competitors, when he raised his hand slightly. "That won't be necessary," Marcus said. His voice calm as a scalpel. "Dean, you're relieved of your duties. Effective immediately." The room froze. I blinked. 1 beat. 2. "I'm sorry." I asked. Not in disbelief, but in clarity. This was it. He didn't flinch. "You've violated trust. Broken internal protocols. And more importantly, diluted the culture of this board." No one spoke. It was Ava who finally inhaled sharply. I looked at her. Her lips parted. But no words came out. And in that moment, I understood. She knew. Maybe not today's details, but the plan, the pressure. She had become them, or at least, wasn't willing to be me. I stood up slowly. My pulse so steady it shocked me. "You didn't fire me because I failed," I said, facing him without breaking eye contact. "You fired me because I stopped fearing you." In his expression, I saw a flicker. Not regret. Just calculation. "I built everything you stand in," he said coolly. "You were just renting respect." Big mistake. Before I could speak again, a chair scraped back. Loud. Firm. It was Melissa, VP of Ops. 10 years in the company, loyal to a fault, until now. "If Dean goes, I go," she said bluntly. Marcus blinked. Another chair moved. Then another. Within 20 seconds, 22 of the 28 people in that room stood up and packed their folders. One by one, they spoke. "You taught us integrity, not fear. You handled what we lived with in silence. You made this place human." I didn't cry. But something in me cracked and reset. Even Ava stood up. She didn't speak. Just placed her ID badge on the table and followed them out. Marcus sat and watched his boardroom empty, not with chaos but discipline. Like people leaving a prayer gone wrong. When the last one walked out, I turned for the door. "You played your hand too late," I said. And then I left. That was 6 months ago. Today, I work from a co-working space downtown. Coffee always lukewarm and people loud. But it feels real. 3 of those who walked out now run a new innovation firm with me. We don't wear suits. We don't wear masks. Ava and I. We're done. No drama. Just realization. That love tied to power rots quietly. Marcus tried calling twice. Not to apologize. Just to talk. I didn't answer. Because the story wasn't mine anymore. It belonged to everyone who once sat in silence, like I had, hoping someone else would take the first step. Turns out I was that someone. And I didn't walk out of that boardroom alone. I walked out free.